It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the opening credits and I'm going to be breaking it down. We're going to talk about all of the Easter eggs, all of the connections, all of the references, and everything that could potentially give us some clue as far as what we might see for the rest of the season. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. As always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So one thing I want to say right off the bat is I absolutely love the cinematic score that they used for this opening credit. It's definitely quite different than what we're used to if we're thinking about the original title cards of the original show and even Fear the Walking Dead. What they have done with the spin-offs, especially Dead City, the Daryl Dixon spin-off, and of course The Ones Who Live, is that they've made the opening credits be more visually intriguing, more cinematic, and a little more exciting, to be quite honest. Of course, the original title card for the original show has this kind of nostalgia to it, especially for the first few seasons, and you can't really take that away. But I feel like with these new title cards or opening credits for the spin-offs, it definitely makes the world feel much larger. And it definitely helps in the world building. So even though it's not in the story, it's not in the episode, these visuals helps in the story building. The other thing I do want to mention is that this particular opening credit was a mixture in terms of visual themes to the opening credits that they used for the Daryl Dixon and also Dead City. So it was like a combination of both, where they were showing like the Civic Republic, Philadelphia, and all of that. It had a lot of Dead City vibes to it in terms of the opening credits, because of course they were showing the skyline and everything. Just like for Dead City, they showed skylines from Manhattan and New York and all of that in the opening credits, where they were showing the parts related to the Civic Republic and things like that. It definitely felt closer to the opening credit of Daryl Dixon. So it was definitely a mixture of both, which I absolutely loved. But this opening credit starts with this pretty cool shot of Rick and Michonne next to each other with the sunset in the background. Looks pretty awesome. And of course, we have the AMC Plus Presents title on there. And then it morphs into this without the title, which is cool. And then we have this. Of course, this is the bridge being a big part of Rick's story. It's how he exited the show. It's a big part of what took him out of the story, and they're visually showing it here, so that's cool. And of course, we see Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera on the opening credits. Of course, Andrew Lincoln playing Rick Grimes and Denai Guerrera playing Michonne. And then we have this shot of the bridge. Looks pretty awesome. We have this is just a flag with the CRM emblem on it, and it's moving in the wind in a cool way. So it's simple, but it's pretty awesome visually to see. And then we have these windmills, which are super cool because it obviously connects to a lot of the windmills that we see at the Civic Republic, which we saw in the first episode. And of course, we have Polyan McIntosh on the credits as well. She obviously plays Jadis, so it's cool to see her as the third person that's on there. We see the helicopters being a big part of the CRM story. It's not only something that took Rick out of the story, so it's connected to Rick, of course, and the CRM, but helicopters appear to be the best things that the CRM has to offer as far as sophisticated equipment and military vehicles. So it's super cool to see that as part of it. We have Rick and Michonne again here, and then we have these maps, which I talked about on a separate video. I'm not going to break it down a lot here because I already did a separate video on it. But of course, we have the Alliance of Three. We have Omaha, which was destroyed by the Civic Republic military, which we saw in World Beyond. We have the second part of the Three Alliance, Portland, pretty cool. And then, of course, we have this shot of the map with Portland and Omaha, and we do see the nuclear zone in Texas. which obviously connects to the events of Fear the Walking Dead with the submarine nuke that went off. So it's cool that it's connected to that and they're keeping the continuity. Of course, CRM knew about that. They were there soon after it happened to see what was going on. So it would make sense that they would keep an eye on it. And then we, of course, have Philadelphia as being the Civic Republic on the map. We do see the security corridor, which is, of course, the area where the CRM is closely monitoring to make sure that their secret city stays a secret city. And they pretty much know exactly who is entering this area, which is cool. Now, we do see some other X's on the map. I'm assuming these are CRM bases and outposts. We know that the main CRM base is right next to the city. The other thing to keep in mind is if we think about the location of Alexandria and where that is, we can see that it's either close to the borders of the security corridor or it's within it, which is super interesting. Now, it doesn't make a lot of sense that CRM would just let all of these communities like Alexandria, Kingdom, Oceanside, Sanctuary, and even Commonwealth be functioning if it's within their security corridor. So I'm definitely intrigued to get an answer one way or another when it comes to whether CRM knew about all of these communities beforehand and why they didn't meddle with what they were doing all this time. So that's definitely something that I'm hoping that we would get some answers about. And then we have this pretty cool shot of the hidden city, Philadelphia. And of course, we see the windmills in the back, so that's cool. And in the title, we see based on the series of graphic novels by Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore and Charlie Adler. The story is obviously still based on the main series because it involves the main character. And even beyond that, of course, it's in the same universe. And then we have this pretty cool shot of Rick. This is actually a shot from the post-credit scene of the series finale of the main show when he cameoed, where we saw his escape attempt. I think it was like his third one or something. So it's cool that they have that in there. We have this shot of the wall that was showcased in the first episode, where it's in the outskirts of the city, where they take their co-signees to go kill walkers and basically do cleanup work. We have this cool shot of Rick and this cool shot of Michonne zoomed in on their eyes. Looks pretty cool. And then we have this shot, which is super interesting. Of course, we see the Civic Republic of Philadelphia in the middle. So that's the main hidden city. That's Philadelphia. That's Civic Republic. But also we have all of these borders on the map that are showcasing something. I think it's probably still showing like the bases that CRM have, the security corridor, and the ruins, and everything else that CRM keeps track of. We see this one as well. It shows tunnels and stuff like that as well. So just some maps to kind of help us understand what the CRM has going on and how extensive their network really is. We have this cool shot of Michonne. Again, this is from the series finale post-credit scene as well. Pretty cool. We have this one, which is the horde that Michonne was basically approaching in the series finale post-credit scene, and obviously something that we're going to see again in one of these episodes of season 1 of The Ones Who Live. But it looks like we're seeing this through Michonne's helmet, which is pretty cool. We have these letters. I'm assuming these are Rick's letters to Michonne, the ones that she never read, basically, and Rick burned at the end. And then we have these helicopters again, and then the mountains in the background. This could connect to a shot that was in the main trailer where we saw the helicopters in this kind of snowy mountainous area. So it could be related to that. Then we have this pretty cool shot of what appears to be a military hierarchy. So we have like secret elite clearance on the left and infantry clearance on the right. I'm assuming that the secret elite clearance is the clearance that the most advanced elite soldiers and of course the main commander, Major General Beale, know about. And the infantry clearance is maybe a little lower than the clearance that the other guys would have. Like they wouldn't know as many of the secrets. It goes back to what Donald Okafor said in the first episode. He did mention there are things that 100% of the city doesn't know about and 90% of the main force doesn't know about. I'm assuming that those 90% of the things that he mentioned are things that are in the secret elite clearance group. And the other 10% is where the infantry clearance comes in. And of course, on the bottom, we do see one box or dot for command. Now, that could either be one person, meaning Major General Beale, or one unit, both of which have the highest level of clearance. We have also beneath it frontliners, and there's a few dots or boxes there. Again, these could be individual people or it could be units. And frontliners obviously refer to frontliners within the military for the CRM. On the right, we have people in lower level of clearance. So we have supervisors and then infantry below that one. So just a visual map of the hierarchy of CRM, which is pretty cool. And then we have this shot of Rick's boots and his bag, which we did see obviously in the post-credit scene of the series finale of the main show. We have this shot again of the wall where the clearing happens, where the co-signees kill walkers. We have this cool shot of a CRM soldier, one of those spike weapons that they have, which is pretty cool. We have this shot. I'm not even sure what this is, to be quite honest with you, but possibly related to the CRM. And then obviously in the title, we have created by Scott M. Gimple, Anthony Guerra, and Andrew Lincoln. Of course, we know that all three are producers. We have this awesome shot of a CRM emblem on what appears to be a uniform. We have this shot of the spike weapons that the CRM soldiers have. Pretty awesome. We have this shot of some doctors putting a mask on a patient. Maybe this is like before a surgery or something. I wonder if this is an actual shot we're going to see. Is this like Rick or someone? Possibly after getting shot or something? I don't know. But this is definitely super interesting. Obviously, it's in the CR or maybe part of the CRM. So doctors within the CRM. And of course, this could be related to what Rick talked about in the first episode, where he said he woke up in a military hospital. So we could possibly see that in one of the episodes, and this could be part of that. And then we have this bottle, which is cool. Of course, this has Rick's note in it. It's the one that he threw into the water in the post-credit scene of the series finale. And it's the one that Donald Okafor mentioned in the first episode. He said that he found the letter, read the letter, and that's how he knew about Michonne and everything. We have this cool shot of another CRM helmet, and then we have this closer shot of the T-Secret Elite Clearance and Command CRM hierarchy that I talked about earlier. We have this shot of Michonne and Judith's sketch on the phone with Rick's name on it and the Japanese writing that says believe a little bit longer. This is the one that Michonne found. And then we have this cool shot of the Civic Republic Tribune, so a newspaper within the Civic Republic, which talks about majority of CRC candidates calling for oversight of the CRM and stuff like that. So it's really teasing about the CR and the politicians wanting to get more insight into what the CRM is doing. This is, of course, something that was shown on World Beyond. It's nothing new. And then we have another shot, which is just a zoomed in version of that. We have this cool shot of Michonne's gear, which she was wearing in the post-credit scene, and something that she's going to wear for the most part in the first season of The Ones Who Live. We have these blades or knives, pretty cool. We have this zoomed in shot of Rick, just pretty cool. We have this shot of some walkers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually from the comic book. Like, it's a picture of the bottom of the compendium, if I'm not mistaken. This is definitely from the comics, which is definitely cool. We have this shot of Rick and Michonne holding hands. Awesome. We have this CRM soldier. Pretty cool. We have Michonne and Rick kissing here. Awesome. We have, of course, another shot of Philadelphia, the Civic Republic. We have this shot that says danger. So maybe areas that have a horde in it or something like that. And then we have another shot of Michonne's eyes. And then we have this shot of the bridge. And we see like flames. So this is the moment Rick blew up the bridge. So that's cool. And then we have this final shot of The Ones Who Live title card with Rick wearing the CRM uniform and with that weapon that has the spikes on it that the CRM used. Pretty awesome stuff. And this opening credit definitely had a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of references, and it definitely gave us some indication as far as things we might see later on in the show. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.